Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome back to a brand new video. Now in today's video we're going to be talking about the huge controversial topic: why is the national dex not in Pokemon Sword and Shield, as well as Mega Evolutions and Z moves, and why they decided to just take this route with Pokemon, which nobody was expecting at all. It's a huge problem for Sword and Shield, and a lot of people are annoyed about it and talking about it. So I'm just going to give my thoughts and feelings on it today by taking a look at the two articles where Masuda has been interviewed and just seeing why he's come to this decision. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below. Of course, this is a discussion video. I want to know your thoughts on this topic. What do you guys think about there being no national dex, no Mega Evolutions, and no Z moves in these games? Of course, subscribe as well if you're brand new. I do daily Pokemon content on this channel. With all of that out of the way though, guys, let's get into the video and start taking a look at these articles. Starting things off, this article will be linked in the description down below. It says, the Pokemon Sword and Shield interview. We knew at some point we weren't going to be able to keep indefinitely supporting all of the Pokemon. We talked to Game Freak about the battle potential of Dynamax, the decision to narrow the number of available Pokemon, and the move into a new era. So the main point of this article is down here on the decision to limit Pokemon Sword and Shield to the Galar Pokedex. So if you've been living under a rock and you don't know what's basically been going on, there was obviously the gameplay of Sword and Shield at Nintendo E3, and we got a lot of cool gameplay. The games looked really cool, very promising, looked insane. And then they were all sitting on the sofa just casually having a chat, and then Masuda out of nowhere slips into the convo that the only Pokemon available in Pokemon Sword and Shield are the ones in the Pokedex, and you will not be able to transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Home into Sword and Shield if they are not in said Pokedex. So there's over 1,000 Pokemon now after this game. That's been confirmed. I don't know how big the Pokedex is going to be. Maybe it's going to be like 600, 700 more. But at the same time, that's still 300-400 Pokemon that won't make the cut. So basically, Pokemon's been Thanos, and we're going to be missing a lot of Pokemon in the games, and there's no way to get them into Sword and Shield. So that's obviously going to have a huge impact on the competitive scene, especially with there being no Mega Evolutions now and no Z moves. The only available kind of game mechanic in competitive now is Dynamaxing, which is obviously is only available for 3 turns. So we're going to take a look at why they've come to this decision. So it says, on the decision to limit Pokemon Sword and Shield to the Galar Pokedex. Looking at some news that came out yesterday, which is obviously talking about E3, there are some limitations on the Pokemon Bank. Only the Galar region Pokedex is only going to be accessible. Can you walk me through why that decision was made and why you think it's important to have that limitation? So he says, there are a couple of different parts to be thinking behind it, but really the biggest reason for it is just the sheer number of Pokemon. We already have well over 800 Pokemon species, and there's going to be more added in these games. And now that they're on the Nintendo Switch, we're creating it with much higher fidelity, with higher quality animations. But even more than that, it's coming down to the battle system. We're making sure we can keep everything balanced and give all the Pokemon that appear in the games a chance to shine. We knew at some point we weren't going to be able to indefinitely keep supporting all of the Pokemon, and we just found that Sword and Shield would probably be a good point to go back and reevaluate what would be the best selection of Pokemon that appeal to the widest audience while keeping into consideration the balance of the battle system. It isn't just going to be all new Pokemon in the Galar region Pokedex. There's still going to be a lot of favorites that fans will be able to bring over that they've adventured with previously. But yeah, it was pretty much just balancing and getting it this optimal selection of Pokemon for the adventure we wanted to provide. So basically, the whole reason that there is no national dex is, in this interview here, it was basically confirmed that there's over 1,000 Pokemon. This bit here has exceeded over 1,000. So there's over 1,000 Pokemon to choose from, including forms and stuff like that. So for them to create new models for all of these Pokemon and implement them into Pokemon Sword and Shield, it's going to take a while. Even though they've been working on these games for about 5 or 6 years or whatever, it's been a while. There just isn't enough time to be able to implement all these Pokemon, especially with the animations and with obviously them walking in the wild area and with the battle system and stuff like that. So yeah, they've decided to not implement every single Pokemon in the game just because they don't have enough time. So what they've done is they've taken a step back and thought like, what Pokemon would people most want in these games? So obviously not every Pokemon is in the game. That's a fact. We don't know how many Pokemon are going to be in the game, how many of this 1,000 Pokemon will be in the game. My guess is about 600 to 700, but who knows. I definitely think there's going to be a lot of Kanto Pokemon in this game though, and that is solely because of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I know that's going to annoy a lot of people. Kanto just doesn't seem to go away. It's just always in the spotlight, but obviously the previous games were Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, and the only Pokemon available in those games were Kanto Pokemon. and they know a lot of people have kind of been introduced to the franchise with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, so they know that they're going to have to include a lot of Kanto Pokemon, otherwise people will be annoyed that who started on Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, if they can't get their Kanto Pokemon into Sword and Shield, they're going to be annoyed. So I think there's going to be a lot of Kanto, if not the whole Kanto decks in Sword and Shield, and that's just a wrap. They might have limitations on Gen 4 Pokemon, just because Generation 4 will maybe be coming out next year or the year after, so they're going to be definitely concentrating on a lot of Gen 4 Pokemon in that game, because obviously every Generation 4 Pokemon is going to be in the Gen 4 game, so maybe they're waiting a little bit just to put the Gen 4 Pokemon in, which would be annoying because there's a lot of really cool Generation 4 Pokemon that exist. So I don't know, that's just my opinion on that. I just think that they might concentrate more on other generations if a remake for Gen 4 is coming down the line. That's just what I'm saying. But next up it goes, can you tell me about the selection process, like deciding which Pokemon you wanted ported forward? How much of that had to do with fan favorites versus balancing out the types and abilities? There are definitely a lot of factors. The primary focus was the setting of the game. We have the Galar region, and we spent a lot of time discussing which Pokemon would make sense in that region. We kind of selected from there, but we also selected types that make sure the battles are balanced and really provide this exciting kind of battle experience. So they've definitely taken competitive into mind when deciding all of this. My thoughts and feelings on this is a little bit like, I get where they're coming from. I get why they haven't put all of Pokemon in, because they just clearly don't have enough time. And with a game with Pokemon, fans expect a new game every single year. So if they can't do that, a lot of people are going to be annoyed. Like, I guarantee that everybody annoyed about the situation, like I'm annoyed about the situation, I'm still going to buy the game. And I feel like 99.9% of people that are annoyed about this situation are still going to buy the game. The game looks incredible. It definitely will be the best Pokemon game we've had so far. Yes, it won't have every single Pokemon in. Yes, that is annoying. Yes, it's a setback. People are still going to buy the game. It looks absolutely incredible from what we've seen so far. We've barely seen a snippet of the full game. So if people are really not going to buy the game just because of that, I mean, I get it, because obviously they want to have every single Pokemon in, but they're not going to stand by and watch other people play the best Pokemon game ever made and just sit back and not do anything about it just because not every Pokemon's available in it. Like, just adapt to the situation, I guess. Like, to be fair, Pokemon Home isn't getting released until early 2020 anyway, so it wouldn't have affected your first playthrough experience of the game. You would have only been able to catch Pokemon in the Galar anyway, because it will be like 4 or 5 months until Home comes out after Sword and Shield was released. So yeah, I get it's annoying for competitive and with Mega Evolutions and Z-moves and stuff like that, because there was this post as well that said, some further details about Pokemon Sword and Shield were revealed in Famitsu. Within the interview with Masuda and Omori, it was confirmed that there is currently no decision to bring the existing Pokemon that can't be in Sword and Shield back into the game using patches, but those that don't will still have an active role in Pokemon Home. So we don't know what that active role is in Pokemon Home. Maybe you can battle in Pokemon Home, who knows? But it's just it's another factor to think about. Like, if they included it in further patches, then that would be absolutely fine. Like, what if they did like a month, they did like 30 brand new max raids or something like that, Dynamax raids, where they were just brand new Pokemon that we could have just import, and then once the max raids are here, you can import them into Pokemon Sword and Shield. But they've said that there's obviously there's no decision to bring in any patches. It also stated that Mega Evolutions and Z-moves will not appear in Pokemon Sword and Shield. So there's going to be no Mega Evolutions, no Z-moves, and then potentially half the Pokemon. The Ultra Sun Ultra Moon Pokedex was 402, I want to say, and that was on the 3DS. Obviously the Switch has a lot more capabilities and would easily be able to handle a full national dex. I mean, Ultra Sun and Moon could. Like, every single Pokemon was in Ultra Sun Ultra Moon. Like, you could just trade them all across. So, if you can do it with Sun and Moon, you can definitely do it with Sword and Shield. It's just the time frame. They just haven't had enough time to make all the models, all the battle styles, all the battle techniques, something like that for the new games. So, I understand where they're coming from. But he said, did you see Sword and Shield being kind of a jumping off point for the future of the Pokemon series? Because they're not only launching Sword and Shield, but also Pokemon Home, Pokemon Bank, and a lot of things coming up around it. Does this feel like a new era for the Pokemon series? I think it might be fair to say it's not a transition, but for example, at Game Freak, Omori-san is director of those games, so we're passing on a lot of responsibility to the younger generations kind to move the franchise forward. Also, being on the Nintendo Switch allows new playstyles, not just handheld, but also on the TV screen. I think it's definitely going to represent a new chapter for Pokemon. So, all in all, it's very, very annoying that they've taken this route. Personally, I understand where they're coming from. I can see both sides of the argument, because I am annoyed that not every single Pokemon is in the game, but I can also see why not every single Pokemon is in the game. It's not that they're lazy or anything. I think they just generally they have to make new models for every single Pokemon, and that's animations for walking, doing all the different attacks and everything like that. It's going to take a while. For one Pokemon, it's just going to take a while, and then you've got to do all the evolutions and stuff. And if there's now over 1,000 Pokemon with different forms, getting that many creatures into a game on a very short time period, trying to get the game out now, is going to be kind of next to impossible. Now, that is what it is at the end of the day. That I don't think we're going to be able to do anything about it. A lot of people do want them to postpone the game. I don't feel like that is the right decision to make. I feel like they should just definitely keep it coming out in November, and then I think they should just release patches, you know. I think that would literally just sort out every situation. I think a lot of people would be a lot more happier if they just released patches, because like I say, Pokemon Home won't be coming out for like another 4 or 5 months after Sword and Shield is released. So patches, I think, is definitely the way around it, definitely the way to sort it all out. But at the end of the day, we can't really do anything about it. We can just be as angry as possible, but I mean, I don't think that's going to solve anything at the end of the day. So that's just my thoughts and feelings on everything. What do you guys think, though, about the National Dex? No Mega Evolutions, no Z moves. I'm pretty sure 90% of you guys are annoyed. Like I say, I'm annoyed too, but we kind of have to see where they're coming from just to kind of grasp the situation. But that's everything from me. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe as well if you're brand new. But yeah, have an amazing rest of your day. Till next time. Peace.